ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். Sri Bhagavad Gita, we have completed up to the 15th chapter. Now we are moving on to 16th chapter. In this 16th chapter, Bhagavan is talking about divine qualities and demoniac qualities and the people who are having such qualities, how they behave, how they conduct and so on. This chapter is known as Daivasura Vibhaga Yogam or Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogam. In the previous chapters, in the previous 3 chapters, Bhagavan explained about Jivatma, Achit and Ishvara, and then he spoke in detail about Purushottama Vidya and so on. Now all of these are founded based on Vedam and other important Shastrams. This Daiva Asura qualities, divine and demoniac qualities, they are determined in a person based on whether the individual is able to accept Shastram and follow Shastram or not. If a person is able to accept Shastram and follow the Shastram, then he is said to be having Daiva Gunam, divine qualities, divine nature. If a person is not accepting Shastram and not following Shastram, he is said to be having demoniac qualities and demoniac nature. So this is the theme of this particular chapter. Even Arjuna gets a doubt whether he is having divine nature or demoniac nature. Bhagavan tells Arjuna, don't worry Arjuna, because you are listening to my advices, instructions without opposing me, with patience, you are having divine nature only. Because when an Acharya instructs, if the disciple constantly opposes it, then that person is said to be having demoniac nature. But because Arjuna is patiently listening to Krishna, he is said to be having divine nature, says Arjuna, says Krishna in subsequent shlokams. Now let us see this 16th chapter, shlokams with the meanings. Bhagavad Gita has a beautiful commentary from Bhagavad Ramanuja named Sri Gita Bhashyam. This is a Sanskrita Vyakhyanam. Vedantacharya, Vedanta Deshika, has given Tatparya Chandrika, which is another Sanskrita Vyakhyanam for Bhagavad Gita. With the help of these 2 Vyakhyanams, Puttur Sri U.A. Krishnaswamy Iyengar has given an elaborate Tamil commentary for Bhagavad Gita shlokams. In that work, he has also given word by word meanings for each shlokam in Bhagavad Gita. We have translated that into simple English in our website geeta.coil.org. With the help of these English translations, we are going through the meanings for these shlokams. Let us start with the 16th chapter. In the first 3 shlokams, Bhagavan is explaining what are all the qualities which are present in a divine natured person. So let us see the 3 shlokams. First shlokam, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayas Tapa Arjavam. All these 3 shlokams are related, they are continuous. Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyagaha Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshva Loluptvam Mardavam Khrir Achapalam Tejakshama Drutihi Shaucham Adroho Nati Manitha Bhavanti Sampadam Dhaivim Abhijatasya Bharata. So these are the 3 shlokams. Let us see the simple meanings, word by word meanings for each of these shlokams. First shlokam, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayas Tapa Arjavam. Abhayam, fearlessness, one must remain fearless. That is the first quality which is seen in a person with a divine nature. Sattva samshuddhihi, purity of heart. One's heart should be very pure. Jnana yoga vyavastitihi, being focused on Atma, which is distinct from matter. Jnana yoga generally is related to meditating on the self. So that particular aspect is highlighted here, being fully focused on the Atma. Dhanam. Dhanam is giving righteously earned wealth to noble people in charity. So one must earn wealth in a righteous way, in a proper virtuous way, and whatever wealth earned should be shared with other noble people. That is charity, dhanam. Dharmaha, damaha, restraining the mind from engaging in sensual pleasures. Generally, shama and dhamma, these two qualities are emphasized. They are relating to controlling the internal senses and controlling external senses. Here damaha is focused on restraining the mind from engaging in worldly pleasures. Yajnaha cha, engaging in Panchamaha Yajnam, etc. as Tiruvaradhanam to Bhagavan, as Bhagavad Aradhanam, without any expectation. So here Yajnaha, Yajna generally means fire sacrifices, and here it is emphasized that one should engage in Panchamaha Yajnam. Panchamaha Yajnam means Bhuta Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Manushya Yajna, Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna. So these are main aspects of Vaidika's daily routine. These must be performed as Aradhanam, Bhagavad Aradhanam, that is as a service to Bhagavan, for the pleasure of Bhagavan. Without any expectation they must be done. So that is explained here. Swadhyaya, studying Vedam. That is, Swadhyaya means learning one's own Vedam. When one goes through the Yajnopavidam ceremony, Upanayanam ceremony, one gets Brahmopadesham. After getting Brahmopadesham, one should study Shastram, so that one can practice the principles of Shastram clearly. Both Panchamahayagyam also relate to those who are wearing Yajnopavidam, that is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and then Swadhyaya also relates to Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya learning Shastram. Tapaha, engaging in penances such as Ekadashi, Vratam, etc. Generally tapa means troubling the body a little bit to improve our anushtanam, to improve our detachment and so on. That includes Ekadashi Vratam, when we don't eat and fully focus on Bhagavad Dhyanam and so on during Ekadashi days. And even on a daily basis, we have to practice things like we don't accept anything to eat prasadam until Bhagavad Aradhanam, Tiruvaradhanam is completed. During Pitru Kaikaryam days, we have to remain fasting until all the Kaikaryams are over for Pitru Karma and so on. So these are all part of tapas or penances which we have to practice. So that is emphasized here. Arjavam. Arjavam means generally honesty, but here it is in the context of having the mind, speech and actions in harmony. All of our faculties should be in harmony, and that too in virtuous mode. We cannot say that everything is in harmony and do bad things. I'm thinking bad, I'm saying bad things and doing bad things. That is not reasonable. It should be thinking about good things, speaking good things and acting in a good way. So all the three faculties should be in harmony. That is the first shlokam. Second shlokam, ahimsa, satyam, akrodas, tyagaha, shantir, apaishanam, daya bhuteshu, aloluptvam, mardavam, hrir, achapalam. Let us see the meanings. Ahimsa, not harming any creature. Harming a creature by mind, word or deeds. All three are not recommended in Shastram. So one must practice ahimsa. sometimes we unintentionally or intentionally hurt others. We have to try to avoid that, and also if we do some mistakes like that, we have to atone for the same. Satyam, speaking the truth, which causes good to all creatures. Satyam means generally truth, speaking truth, but it cannot be causing harm to others. Let's say a particular person with the intent of murdering someone else comes and asks, where is this person? I want to kill him. And we cannot be very truthful and say, this is where he is hiding, and show him. Satyam means that which is causing good for people, at the same time being truth. So that is very important. Akrodaha, not having anger, which leads to harming others. Main reason for harming others is our anger. When we get anger, we harm others, so we have to avoid that anger. Tyagaha, giving up those aspects which do not cause any good to self. Self here means Atma. What is not good to the Atma, we must give up, we must detach ourselves from that. Shantihi, training the senses, except mind, to not engage in sensual pleasures. We have already seen Damaha, which spoke about training the mind in not engaging in worldly pleasures. Here it is talking about other senses, except the mind, to not engage in sensual pleasures. Apaishanam, avoiding slander, which causes harm to others. Apaishanam means speaking words about others unnecessarily, discussing about others' qualities which are not favorable, unnecessarily blaming others or faulting others. Those things need to be avoided. Bhuteshu dhaya, being unable to tolerate the sufferings of other creatures. When we see others suffer, we must feel for that, and we must share that sorrow or suffering. That is very important. Aloluptvam, being detached from worldly matters, not being attached to worldly pleasures, worldly aspects. That is very important. Mardavam, being very gentle, being very soft, to be easily approached by noble persons. If people see us and fear to even approach us, that is not good, that is not a good quality. We must remain very gentle so that others can approach us and discuss freely with us. Krihi, being ashamed of engaging in harmful activities. One must feel ashamed when one engages in harmful activities. Achapalam, not even desiring for the aspects which are in reach. Not having attachment for something which is not in our reach, it's not a great thing. But when we have something in our reach and still not being attached or desiring for that, that is what is required from us. So these are some of the qualities which are highlighted in this slokam. And then the third slokam, where Krishna is concluding all of these qualities. Teja kshama dhritihi shaucham adroho nati manita bhavanti sampadham daivim abhijatasya bharata. Tejaha, being undefeated by evil people. Though we are soft and gentle, we should not let people with evil intentions overtake us and win us. We should remain undefeated from such people. Kshama, patience. Even those who harm us, we have to remain patient with them. We cannot be harsh towards them. Dhritihi, being firm even in dire situations, even in very difficult situations, one must remain dedicated and not give up on one's duties. We have seen in the lives of our Purvacharyas, in many difficult situations, they continued to protect Divideshams, they continued to protect Granthams and continue their Kaikaryams, even in difficult situations. That is Dhritihi. Shaucham, having cleanliness in mind, speech and body to engage in activities which are highlighted in Shastram. There are many regulations in Shastram that we should take bath to keep ourselves physically clean at various times. That is bodily cleanliness, and then also our mind and speech should remain clean. And as directed by the Shastram, one should remain in that pure state. So that is Shaucham. Adroha, not interfering in the noble actions of others. When others are trying to do good, we should not be a hurdle, we should not stop them from doing it. So that is Adroha. Nati Manitha, absence of pride. Absence of pride is very important. One should not feel very prideful for anything, because we have to understand that there are so many good qualities which we are lacking, and whatever good qualities we have is also because of blessings from our acharyas, Bhagavan and so on. So we should remain without any pride. So these qualities, such qualities, Daivim Sampadam Abhijatasya, for those who are having divine birth, one's birth is based on one's previous karma, and that previous karma, if one has virtuous karma, one will have good birth. So such divine birth, to follow the ordainment of Bhagavan, to follow the orders of Bhagavan, those who have got divine birth, they will have these qualities, bhavanti, are present. These qualities are present in such people. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, you are yourself a person who is born in a great family, in the Bharata clan. So you know, you can understand the value of this divine birth, says Krishna in this particular shlokam. So in these three slokams, Krishna highlights the important qualities which are present in a divine natured person. Rest of the slokams we will see in the next session. Alvar Emberumanar Jiyar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Jiyar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download Koyil, K-O-Y-I-L app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, Koyil.org.